And it looks like we are live, so I'm going to say hello, everyone, and welcome to a terrible stream for terrible people. How are we doing this sweaty, sweaty Monday? Yeah, it's fucking warm again. I know, I complain about that a lot, but this is a country where we just don't do heat, or at least not dampness. And yeah, so, how are we doing? What are we doing? What have we been up to? And I forgot what. Oh, yeah, that's what I called the stream. Time to get seriously drunk. Now, I wasn't planning any kind of like drinking game, unless the drinking game is, I don't know, every time someone pays for sick to have a drink, you have a drink too. But uh, I have important shit to do tomorrow, so I'm not doing the $20 thing again because that seems to be the perfect price for about 1 million of you to fucking buy me drinks. So we're gonna call it 50 today. It's high enough that not too many people will go fucking crazy, low enough that they might buy something. I don't know. You don't have to buy anything. The whole point is, if you want to make me drunk, you can. But other than that, thanks for coming. What are we doing? Sweaty US East 2. I can fucking imagine. I know that I can't remember which bits of it. I know there's some very sweaty parts of the US. Florida is quite sweaty. Sticky, I've heard it referred to as. What's a Baralta? Moon Day. It's loony. Get it? Because the moons, maybe? We need more whiskey for this stream. We always need more whiskey. There's never not a time for whiskey. In fact, the time for whiskey was before, and if you didn't do it then the best time is now.
Can I just say now that I want 69 likes? Because I always say it too late, and I would like people to work out a system so that you can either like or unlike.
You can work together.
So I can get 69 likes.
I want this stream to end and to stay at 69 likes.
That would be good.
And anybody who ruins that, it's just, I don't know. I don't actually care. It's her thing.
I've been trying to get
Go
it
fucking
created.
crazy.
It never happens. It'd be nice to actually have it for once. I really want a 69.
Hello, sir. Miss Sick. Yesterday, I did a play reading at the theatre, which was set in both the theatre's main house and the studio, which was genuinely fun. Exhausting, two places at once. I'm not sure I understand how that functions. Like, first off, like a studio, as in like a different part of the theatre that's not the theatre-y bit. And are you some kind of deity who has the capacity to be in two places at once? Yeah. Nice, cool 65F here in Minnesota. That means nothing to me.
Have you set so my microphone is working? Because people said I sound quiet.
You always sound quiet because you don't speak the fuck up. Your mic is working.
Okay.
Put it closer to your face, and also project.
Okay.
Speak as if what you have to say is important.
I'll just eat the microphone.
Just eat the mic, yeah.
I'm not a loud person. Sick is the loud one.
Yeah. I have more powerfulness of the voice. But yeah, she's always quiet. That's how she speaks. Unless she's drunk, when she gets really fucking noisy.
Yeah, I'm very obnoxious when I'm drunk.
I didn't say that. You said that.
No, I know I'm very obnoxious when I'm drunk.
Mrs. Sick sounds British. Well, funny you should say that.
I'm not British.
What are you? Yorkshire?
Yeah, technically it is its own country, so...
It isn't. That's not how that works.
It is.
Just because you all pretend it's your own country.
It is own country. It's God's own country.
Yeah. Phone calls to heaven are free from Yorkshire because it's God's country.
It's
a local call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sir Sick, cheap is good, but useless is useless at any price. I mean, yeah? What are we talking about here?
God, 31 seed Tennessee. Nice.
That sounds fucking brutal. 36 degree in Colorado. Fuck that noise. That sounds like sweaty death.
Sounds northern. Yeah.
93 degrees. Stop. You can't use Fahrenheit. I ban it. I do not, and I will not learn what Fahrenheit's translate into.
93 fucks and human in Maryland.
Ah. Steps85 just gifted a sub to someone. Drusilla, congratulations. You are now much more important than the other people in the chat. That's a fact backed up by science. But they were already pretty fucking important, so, you know, it's not that big a deal. Half my stuff is junk. Trouble is, I don't know which half. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that we've gotten better at as we've earned what I describe as grown-up amounts of money. Before, we were extremely poor. And the bad thing is, you would buy... Like, I spent many moons trying to find the perfect cheap controller. And there is no such thing. They're all fucking trash. There are some decent, more expensive ones. Twitch was gifted a membership. The entirety of Twitch just got a membership on YouTube. That's amazing. But, yeah, like, just... There's cheap. Some cheap things are amazing. We had this really, really cheap TV tuner, USB TV tuner, for a laptop. And it was like £5. And it basically turned that laptop into a TV when we didn't have anything else at the time. Because, like I said, we were really poor. But there's things that you can buy that are just... False economies are a thing you really need to look out for. And unfortunately, even today, with the abundance of information, it's still really easy to buy something that's a piece of shit. Especially, this is one of the reasons that I've never done a sponsorship, is that I just feel that all the things that they sell are kind of trash. There's either it's an okay product, but it's way too expensive, or it's a piece of shit product. That's probably way too expensive, and there's doesn't seem to be anything like in between. And I think that's a big part of that is that marketing is the main thing that you're paying for when you buy these things. Like the fucking Brandans. Oh shit, what are they called now? Fuck. Raycons, there you go. She knew what I meant.
The amount of YouTubers that promote those, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm not having a go. I'm never having a go. But I wouldn't do it myself. Because I appreciate good sound quality. And they sound like shit. If you've tried them and thought, these sound fine, you don't have any sort of... I can't imagine you have any frame of reference. They genuinely sound like noisy... bassy garbage, and not in a fun way, in just a muddy crap way. So I would never have those, because you know you have to tell lies to sell them. If you're someone who has any idea what good sound is, like, and I imagine that a lot of these people who make the sponsorship deals, like, have decent audio setups. Because you need it to do this job. Like, my audio setup isn't that expensive. But at the same time, it's way more fucking expensive than, I don't know, like a $50 pair of, like, studio monitors. Which would do the job. And will sound way fucking better than Raycons. But they are, you know, Raycons are like $120.
Jesus Christ, really?
A lot of the time they have like a discount code, and that's where you save money on it, but you don't, because it's tat. We had this set of earbuds that were like a third of the price, maybe less, and they sounded great, and it just sounded better. And that's when we were, again, poor. I too sound like noisy, bassy garbage. Yeah, like, if you like them, that's great, but there's better things out there, like, by far less. It's just not worth it. That was my point. Like, I don't believe 90% of the people who do the Raycon adverts are telling truths. They might have cognitive dissonance on it. Oh, it sounds great for what it is. And that's, I mean, it's not even true, but whatever. I'm being mean. People got to pay the fucking bills. Gully Kit King Kong 2 Pro controller, nearly 70 quid, but very, very good. I have eyed up that one. I'm a bit of an 8-bit do boy. I would fucking do I would do sponsorships for 8-bit do, but I don't think they do sponsorships because they make half decent stuff. They do review units.
Okay, letting the product speak for itself.
The price to quality ratio is way off, yeah. And don't let anybody convince you that there isn't a solid middle ground. Like, people will... I've been, like, given shit for being audiophile-y. And, like, I'm not an audiophile. I like good audio, but I don't have the money, the time, or the patience to get that really, really high-level stuff. But it's like with anything...
You mean the one, like, where it comes in, like, 7 different parts, and it's, like, listening to, like the most beautiful sound you've ever heard when you put them on? I can't remember what they are now. It's like $30,000 or something.
Oh, we've got a Steam controller user in the chat. My God. I have 2 of them. I never use them.
Isn't it like $30,000 for this, like, extremely high-end...
Oh, for the, like, ridiculously high thing. And, like, there is a difference. I completely believe there is a lot of stuff. There is a lot of woo in audiophile circles.
Yeah.
But there is also just genuinely good stuff. And there's a middle ground where you can get just, like, really, really good things that sound great and will do the exact job. I use a like AKG 710s or 712s or something like that. The one with the orange little bars on them. They sound fantastic. But the main reason that I bought those, as they are not cheap, but they're so fucking comfortable. They're the only pair of headphones that I can wear for an extended time period without being in agony. And they still hurt after a while because I have a sensitive head.
He has a big head.
Yeah. Have you contacted other peers? I know Vice Rhino has sponsors, and he's in a very similar vein of YouTuber. I don't really like to talk to people about it because, I don't know. Like, I'm very live and let live on that regard. It's just like my personal standards are probably way higher than reasonable, and I am definitely leaving money on the table. And it kind of annoys me sometimes because I'd probably be making, like, good money instead of just grown-up amounts of money where it's like we have enough to get by and put a little bit away for savings. I could actually, like, buy that house I want in not a huge amount of time. But I can't deal with the stress of doing something that I consider to be wrong. And I've never seen a product. One of the other products that I think is just an absolute fucking waste of money is Magic Spoon. Because it's, like, so fucking expensive for, like, 4 boxes of cereal is an obscenely high price. It's actually genuinely ridiculous. And I've been offered that a bunch of times, and I'm just like, I can't justify it. And that's the thing. If I wouldn't buy it, I won't do a sponsorship of it. One of the really, like, one of the ones that I almost considered, which I'm really fucking glad I didn't, was that fucking, what was it called? Thingy, established titles. Because I just heard about it and I read the fucking screen and I thought, oh, that sounds stupid enough for a case of who gives a fuck. But then it turned out that they were, like, kind of dishonest in their actual promotional materials, and it was a lot of bullshit. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And yeah, thankfully, I'm also too lazy to actually get anything done. My hi-fi cans are the AKGs. Use what you like and what sounds good and forget brand names. I mean, AKG are technically a brand name, although they are owned by, I think, Smaznug now, which is unfortunate. But they still produce the older products. Just don't trust anything that's tuned by AKG because it's literally meaningless.
Yeah, you've gone over 69 now. That means you have to start taking them off. Figure it out, guys. It's your task for today.
Do an episode about Bigfoot. Well, you'd have to... The social integrity crusader. I don't have integrity. I have anxiety. That's my entire thing. It's like, you think it's integrity, but it's more about I can't like bring myself to do things that make me anxious. And yeah, if I think something sounds like a piece of shit, I'm not going to do it. And you know what? Here's where it becomes a real he's just too lazy to get a sponsor. That's part of it. Don't fucking get me wrong. That's definitely part of it. It's like work. You have to talk to people and fuck that.
The other stuff as well, you get like loads of people emailing you.
Yeah, I get a lot of emails.
About like, join our group thing.
Oh, so many of them are like for fucking things that I'm like, you're just going to try and steal my fucking channel, aren't you? But the other thing is that it's like, I don't have social anxiety per se. I have anxiety. Like, I have capital A anxiety that is just all the time. I could do social stuff easy.
He has general anxiety.
Yeah. I'm not fucking... Like, I'm pretty good in a conversation. But it's just that I don't want to do any of the things. That's my problem. But that's what I was going to say. Like, so I've given you examples of products that I would probably never do unless they changed in some significant way that made me go, okay, this is actually worth a while now. But it means that I just assume they're all like that. And I've probably missed out on stuff that I'd be actually okay and say, oh, this is actually a pretty decent product. One of the ones, and you just can't, just because of the sheer amount of bullshit involved, is the VPN thing. Like, one of the first groups I ever interacted with about a sponsorship was for Surfshark VPN. This is not a sponsorship. I have no interest in them because I thought I could do a funny bit with that. For ages, I had been planning to do the fucking, what do you call it now?
Hans Worm hat.
No, other one. Barnabas Nagai. He had his sharks are fake thing. And it was going to be something along that, you know what, sharks aren't fake. Our sponsor. Kind of bullshit. That could have been entertaining. I could have really integrated it, made it funny, made it... that is my plan if I ever do a sponsorship, is to make it content. It will be an advert. It will be advertorial, but it will be funny. It will be entertaining. You will actually watch it because it will make you laugh, is the idea. But then I went on their website and the first thing I do whenever I get a sponsorship offer of anything that I'm even slightly like, I could be interested in, is that I like Trustpilot it and all those other places. I just look for the negative reviews. And that one, instantly, they're really hard to quit. And I'm like, fuck that. Because I hate companies that make it difficult to get out once you're in. I absolutely loathe and despise that thing. Because I've had no small amount of stress and just plain getting robbed by these kinds of companies. And I'm like, I'm not going to fucking work with someone that does something that I find disgusting. So, yeah, that was a problem that was said multiple times about them. So I was like, nah, fuck them then. They could have been good, but fuck them. VPN companies lie about what they offer too. VPN companies don't tend to lie about what they offer. What they do is that they accept adverts that say things that aren't true, that sound good, but they don't correct it. It's like, oh, well, that was just our sponsor saying that. That's not what was said on our website or something like that. I mean, I'm sure some of them do actually lie. The biggest thing is, like, a VPN is, like, not as useful as they make them out to be. What if Glenn Fiddick showed up with a sponsor? Tempted then. I can't remember if I like Glenfiddich, to be honest. If Bullet Bourbon fucking wanted to sponsor me, I would do that in a heartbeat because I drink the shit out of that stuff. There's some other ones that, yeah, like I'd do a whiskey sponsorship. A, because it's completely on brand, and B, if it's like just if it's nice enough that I enjoy it, and I can say, that was nice, that was tasty, I enjoyed that whiskey, then that's all that needs to be. And if it's a bit overpriced, you know, I would just, as long as I could make it clear, this is overpriced, but you're paying for basically what I'd want is the sick brand whiskey. And much like merchandise, a lot of what you pay is basically so that I get some money out of it. It's like, yeah. Imagine an argument between Hans and Mud Fossil. One saying that rocks are fake, the other saying that rocks are animals. I thought animals were fake. Animals are fake, thus rocks are fake. That's how that works. What if it's whiskey sponsorship? Not a brand, whiskey. Just the concept of whiskey has come to me and said, people need to know more about me. Well, clearly that already happened, and big whiskey is already, they already got to me. Turns out I don't even like whiskey. I find myself searching for a skip button when Simon Dan starts talking about Magic Spoon or Raycon. Still the vid, damn. Is this an anti-sponsorship? You telling us not to buy stuff? I think you should buy sick brand merch. There you go. That's something you should fucking buy. Or go to my Patreon. You don't get anything out of it, but you will support me. Like, that's what I got to rely on. I think that's something that I'm just going to have to build towards, is actually making stuff for Patreon that's worth having. So people, like at the moment, my Patreon, and I'm quite explicit and up forward about it, is that it's for you to support me, and that's it. That's what it's for. It's to make the channel keep me, you know, in whiskey and houses. Well, flats, but whatever. And that's what it's for. But I would like to be able to actually offer something. I've got some ideas, and there's some things that I'm working on. But right now, you know, just can't, because I just have to keep working and making more content. The whole point is, what you're paying for is the future of the channel. And I think that's enough for a lot of people, because if you like something, you would like it to not go away. I consider it almost like a voluntary subscription, is that kind of thing. And then the merchandise is like, a lot of it is designed by Mrs. Sick, and it's like fun, and a lot of it is very silly. Something you should check out, because it used to not be on there, and then they like reset my whole Surstick store, and it made one of them that they'd said you can't have this. It brought it back, which is Sir Sick looking like Saitama from One Punch Man saying penis joke instead of soccer, which is okay. So if you can find that, if they've still got it, they might have taken it back down. I don't fucking know. But that was like one of my favorite shirt designs, because it was so simple but so fun. But they just like banned it almost immediately, which was big sad. Honestly, I like the patronage only Patreons. I should cancel a streaming service. I mean, there are definitely streaming services. If you want a good streaming service, I would say paying for YouTube Premium. If you have enough people to get the family plan, like we have the family plan, and it's me, Mrs. Sick, the kids, and my brother are all on it, and it gives us, basically, you get YouTube music and free stuff. That's like actually really worth doing.
If you listen to the music, or I listen to the music a lot.
We listen to the music a lot, and having no ads on basically almost anything we watch has been kind of fucking life-changing.
Like yesterday we watched the Yakuza movie.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome. But I walked into the kids' room, and they set up YouTube on their Xbox on their own. I was like, oh, cool. But they were just in a generic non-account. And they got ads, and I'm like, holy shit, ads are fucking obnoxious now. They've gotten a lot worse. They're definitely trying to push for people doing that. How about a mini Sursic helmet that you can tap and get sound bites? Well, like it like slams down. I actually really like that idea. I would, like, I don't know about any companies that do like interesting merch. I'd love a plushie. Sick brown yeah. Sick brown plushies. I'd definitely buy a plushie. I'd buy a plushie. I haven't bought a single bit of my own merch because I'm so fucked up about the idea of buying something from myself effectively. Like, I can't get past that.
I think it's partly that, and also, like, if somebody in the wild, like, recognizes the shirt and starts talking.
I would kind of enjoy that interaction. Like, I'm wearing a Sir Sick shirt, and someone out there is like, holy shit, that guy's wearing a Sir Sick shirt.
That's so cringe.
We're going to be best. That's so cringe.
That's really cringe.
And they come up to me, and they're like, hey, you like Sir Sick? And I'll go, no. And then walk off. Funko Pop Sick. I would have a Funko Pop of myself. I know some people like make them. I think they 3D print them or something, and they're like fake, obviously. Premium is so fucking good. It is. The Sursic in action figure. That's about perfect. I'm waiting for my Emma Thorne Baphomet plushies in October. Yeah, I've seen those. Those are really cute.
They already have Baphomet plushies.
There are Baphomet plushies, but she has her own one.
Oh, like an own version.
Yeah. Does the Sursic action figure come with a burning castle? That's the Sursic in action figure playset.
I like that. You have to plug in your own fog machine, though.
Yeah. Could just say your kids bought it for you as a joke. I don't know. That would be strange. Like, people have their own merchandise. There's nothing wrong with wearing your own merch. I can't physically brain my way around to buying my own stuff. YouTube Premium will be the last streaming service I cancel, after which I'd have to stop watching YouTube. Yeah, I mean, it would certainly make it a lot harder. I don't think that that's the thing. YouTube is just such a useful tool. I don't think I'll ever stop using it unless it like literally unexists itself. I can't see any way that I wouldn't use it for all sorts of shit. It's the amount of just people knowing some little piece of information that you can't get from anywhere else. Like, I'm honestly not at all... I mean, to be fair, I already pay for premium, so I get 4K regardless. But the idea that people who don't pay for premium not getting 4K anymore, I can see why that upset a lot of people.
Oh, that's a
bit
odd.
4K is so fucking expensive to put up. And
well, yeah, because the bandwidth and everything.
Yeah. And ultimately, you probably don't notice half the time. Some people do, but then they're usually the kind of people who will pay for premium anyway. But the thing is, people fucking hate to lose something that they had. And it is one of those classic dilemmas. Honestly, like, if they're going to do it, they should just do it. And they should pretend. Like, they should literally never address it. That's what I would do. I'd just be like, that's how it is now. YouTube rebranding as Y actually makes more sense than Twitter branding as X. Yeah, it should be called T. The fucking X thing. Like, being so upset. Like, 20 years ago, when he had X.com, maybe that made sense. But turning it into X now is just like... It just...
Like, wasn't X...
Every time I see it, I think it's the button to fucking close Twitter. That's what I see. I know it isn't, but that's what it looks like. Will the chat be filled with hatred if I say good old ad blocker removes all commercials on YouTube for free? It does at the moment, but they're working on making it not do that. And yeah, I've got no problem. Like, don't get me wrong. The way I see it is like, if you can't afford it and you really, really hate ads, like, ad block all you want. But do bear in mind that, and a lot of people, like, I don't think they don't put adverts on their channels properly, and it makes it so that they don't make any fucking money on ads. I make a chunk of what I make doing YouTube via adverts. And so the more people watching adverts, or doing premium or paying whatever, the more I make. So it is in my best interest. If you like a channel and want it to stay around longer, like whitelisting specific channels, if that's possible on whatever you use, is great. But I'm not mad at you for not doing it. I don't, you do what you want. I couldn't tell. I wouldn't know at the end of the day. But it is what it is. Elon gets really pissy if you dead name Twitter. Oh. One of those classic Dalai Lamas. Okay, I have no idea what's going on now. Do you want to stop? Like, I don't give a shit about Elon Musk or Twitter in general. I have some fun on Twitter. It is called Twitter. Mother is an ad literally popped up in the middle of Sick talking about ad blockers. That is absolutely perfect. Using Enhancer for YouTube can select which channels have ads blocked too. That's it. I think that's a good way to do it. If you particularly like a content and you don't want to pay for premium and you don't want to, if they have some way of getting you their content that is ad free. Like, I think people who do fucking memberships, I think anybody who memberships on your channel, they should not be served ads on your channel. I don't know if that's a thing, but if it isn't a thing, that's so fucking obvious, because it basically means that you get to give your money to a specific person instead of the broader YouTube.
How about a gravy sponsor? Yes, please.
That would be more of a Mrs. Sick thing.
I like gravy.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I fucking love gravy too, but...
Well, yeah, it's food. Of course you'd like it.
I absolutely love the fact that by simply rebranding Twitter to X, Elon Musk has unintentionally officially made it a porn app. Given the amount of porn that is on there, not that I'd know. The fucking... the porn on Twitter...
Yeah, it's really weird.
...is so fucking just jarring every single time. Because someone will like it.
Like, what I have is, it's usually like wholesome meme about animals, somebody talking about politics, an advert, and then followed by some random woman rubbing her tits. And I was like, wow, what?
Giant set of titties, or just a
like,
cock
where did that come from?
Slamming into an arse. And it's just like, whoa, I didn't come here for a good time. This is Twitter. It's really fucking jarring. It's fucking really bad when you're on the bus or something. You're like scrolling through, like blah blah blah, doom scrolling as they call it, and then fucking shagging, and you're like, whoa, not that kind of word. YouTube yells at me for not running mid-roll, but I hate them so much. I won't subject anybody else to that nonsense. I don't have a problem with mid-rolls, or I didn't when I used to watch adverts. I base the amount of mid-rolls I have on... I did some research, and I made it so that I have slightly less mid-rolls than a bunch of really popular channels, and I think that that's a fair way to do it. It is what it is.
I know some people put a ridiculous amount in.
Oh, fuck. When people do crazy stuff, like... I think you get about 5 minutes-ish between them, for me, is what I try and aim for. Yeah. I actually bothered to block specific ads here. So while I get Temu ads, they stopped being that shop like a billionaire ad. I mean, yeah. Like, you can make your ads less obnoxious by just telling it what you do and don't like. So you will get more stuff that's less shite.
Facebook and Twitter are just a no for me. I know a lot of people now, like especially with like new social media type things. A lot of people do turn to YouTube, or like TikTok is like one of the most popular ones amongst people under 18 or something.
I hate my mid rolls.
I don't know. I've never watched any apart from TikToks that were on YouTube. I haven't actually done anything to do. I think I'm too old.
Yeah, I technically have a TikTok, and I only got it because I found out someone was posting my content on there.
Oh, yeah.
And then I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know how to do anything or report it. And they get so few views, I kind of just don't give a shit. But if that's you, don't post my shit on TikTok. I didn't say you could.
Make
you
your
fucking
own
dick.
crap, you lazy
Yeah.
twat.
Like, if someone wants to put my shit on TikTok and then do like a share thing, that might be something. If there's any fucking money to be made, which I don't know, but I can't be asked. Some reason I've been getting a lot of ads for bras lately. Not a complaint, just an observation. I watch them all the way through, you know, so the creator can get the money. That's why I watch the bra ads. That's the only
wink,
reason
wink,
why.
nudge, nudge.
I found a way to triple ads on my favorite channels before premium. Okay. What's going on with our cardboard and feather friend Roger? I think it's been a while. It has been a while. I haven't seen a video of late. I might check tomorrow because I'll be looking for content tomorrow. But I have to see a title that catches me, and then I start watching it, and they'll say something fucking insane, and I'll be like, okay, I can turn that into a video. One of the things you have to do as a YouTube person is you have to watch out for things that you could title well, could make into a good title that people will actually want to watch. And obviously, one of the things I have been accused of clickbait, and I don't believe I am. I don't believe that's something that I do, because as I define clickbait is putting one thing, and then what you actually get when you get there is none of it. Is not the thing that you clicked for. Clickable is different, in my opinion. It's something that you want something to be. And, yeah, like people, it has to be clickable. If no one's fucking looking at the content, then what are you even fucking doing? Unless you're just using YouTube as a dumping ground. But yeah, your eyes can only register 4K at 6 feet or fewer. It depends entirely on the size of the screen, my man.
And your eyes, I guess. Like
to an extent, but
my eyes are pretty shit.
Are you or have you ever been part of a group of people who say NI? Are you asking me if I'm a knight of knee? Because no, I do like shrubberies.
I instantly went to like periodic table. I went, which one was that again?
I was trying to think of it, and I'm too stupid for that shit, so it didn't work. I would say Roger was replaced by a robot, but a bot would actually fact check itself. Not necessarily. I don't know if you've seen that shit. It can be very confidently incorrect. Clickbait. Say a sick video where whiskey is not mentioned. I can see that. Yeah, like I always try to and that's one of the problems. That's one of the most difficult things I have as a tuber is being able to choose a name for a video that is both reflective of the content and also something that people go, that sounds like it would be fun to watch, which is a really difficult balancing act. It has been no small amount of stress, especially when I can't fucking think of anything. Like, I will watch through videos to try and pick out a part of the video and a concept or part of the content that I think, okay, that works. Because that's all I think you need. It has to be reflective of something. But sometimes it feels like it's not there. And I've had moments like that. And I've just, like... Sometimes it's ended up with really great titles because I've just had to be very creative. And sometimes it hasn't. Sometimes when I've got the obvious title, that was like the worst one I could have possibly picked.
NI is nickel. Okay.
Ah.
I'm allergic to nickel.
The Knights of Nickel. US judge rules AI can't have copyright infringement. Do you mean an AI can't do it? Or that AI produced content can't have copyright infringement? Because those are two very different things. Although, to be fair, the thing that it made might be itself. Like, that's one of the things with the whole AI concept, especially with the art, is like, all it does is steal. Like literally, there's zero creativity
there's
to
like
these machines.
watermarks on the artwork.
Yeah. They've been all watermarks and all sorts of shit. It is literally just a machine that outputs things based on what other people have done. Now, obviously, artwork can be iterative. I completely understand that, but it's not even an iteration. And I do think that there has to be found ways to pay the people that it's taking from. And I don't know. I have absolutely no idea how you do that. But a lot of people have said like there's a really good chance that AI will sort of kill itself by basically making it will flood the market for it whatever it makes with its own bullshit. No one can make any money doing that.
Okay, so AI products can't be copyrighted.
Okay.
So what they produce, because it's based off other people's stuff,
Yeah.
you can't market it as that's my original artwork when it's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, I guess.
Which then for itself means that it can't be like it's not something.
Well, one thing that would be really good is if you put a prompt into an AI machine for a piece of artwork, and then it gave you something, and if it listed its sources underneath it and it credited the artists.
Well, the thing is
then,
that could be really long.
Yeah, doesn't matter. They
I
should be
guess.
able to do it.
Like the system, the only one that I could think is that it would like ping everyone that it did that for. But I think that would be, I don't know. I feel like that would be unsustainable because even if it told you all the sources, it's not like 99% of people are going to then go to those people and go, oh, I liked your foot that was in that one piece of AI art I generated. That's not going to happen. They're not going to know. So it doesn't sort of answer the question.
Do you think AI art is art? I don't know. Art is a kind of, to me, it's a very human experience thing. But at the same time, I don't know, if an AI is using other people's artwork to make art, then technically it is art because it's using other people's artwork. But at the same time, art has a lot of emotion behind it or purpose behind it, or it's trying to generate some sort of thinking process with people.
That is the claim.
So, yeah, and AIs don't really have that in mind when they're producing it. So I wouldn't... It's kind of art because it's based off other people's, but it also isn't because it doesn't have purpose.
That is the claim. AI art is theft, yet that has never been supported by evidence, including in several court cases. I mean, the law on that still has yet to be established. It is fucking miles behind. So to say that it's not been... It is supported by the fact that the AIs literally take things that humans generally have made and turn it into something else. It's a lot of the time it is the same sense that like I had a friend's little brother put up a bunch of fucking photoshopped. He took some photos and then put it through the Sketchify fucking filter.
Oh god, yeah, I remember that.
And then he claimed that he drew them. And I went, okay, just show me a picture of that, you know, where you've drawn it. And he's like, oh, I can't do that. And he's like, well, then you didn't fucking draw it, did you? Don't lie to me, boy. And, yeah, like, it comes in a similar vein to that, in my opinion. Also, to say that things in court cases, like, courts don't sort of dictate reality. That's not how that works. I for a lot of times I don't really give much of a shit what courts say. I mean, as a channel who deals with scientific claims a lot, people saying, "Oh, fucking this conspiracy theory was proven because the court case," and I'm like, "Oh, fuck off." Have you ever credited the source of the flat Earth image, that Starfield, or did either of you create the art yourself? Have I credited it? No. The Starfield is a different thing from the picture, but that is irrelevant to the discussion at hand. That's like a bit of a whataboutism. Because, yeah, just because I'm a thieving piece of shit doesn't make AI art not theft. Like, that's the point. Like, it seems that you might be a little bit emotionally invested in this concept of AI art, which is fine. You can do that. But you have to understand that what it does is it takes something that someone else made with work and effort, changes it, and then shits out whatever. But it's doing this to hundreds of people a lot of the time. And that isn't great. Like, that's... that these people who did the work for that thing, we need to find a way to help them get the credit they need. Like, that would be good. Courts says what judicial law says. Yeah, whatever the courts say things that are important and need to be listened to a certain extent, but like they don't dictate reality. And they've said a lot of things that they have then overturned. So yeah, to say that courts say anything, especially for something so new, is irrelevant. We of Gen X saw a lot of the issues with AI, wanted to keep it contained to figure it all out. Millennials and Gen Z has not listened and happily let that kraken loose. Get over yourself, mate. We of Gen Z, Gen X, or whatever. Like, the AI thing, it's just different people. I really don't like generation wars. Like, okay, boomer is funny in and of itself, but it's like actually fucking stupid and is not an argument. Yeah. In fact, Gen X, of the generation that you are, you probably knew almost nothing about AI because it wasn't a thing that was happening at that time period. Now it is. And millennials are like fucking, I'm nearly 40. I'm technically a millennial. Like, yeah, don't do that. Don't fall for that bullshit. No, the point is you are a kettle calling the pot black. No, I don't use AI. I'm asking that you claim to be supported with evidence, not just asserted as if true. My opinions are all facts. That is how it works. Also, I can do something wrong and still point out when someone else is doing something wrong. The concept that I can't do that is the most fucking stupid thing a human being could possibly say. So, you know, like, unbelievably stupid. Yeah. I'm sure you've done wrong things and then you've seen a wrong... Like, if you've... I don't know. If you've kicked a cat and then you saw someone else kicking a cat and you had learnt from your mistake of kicking the cat, could you not then say, that person's kicking a cat, that's bad? That's an absurd... That's an absurd standard. I'm not saying that we should stop AI. I mean, we might need to stop AI, but my whole point is that it is taking things that people have done, and it would be good if we could credit them. If you think that there's a problem with that statement, I don't know how to help you, because they're all facts. They are facts. It is do this, and that does that. I don't know, man. Robots are not artificial. Who made them then? What? Kicking cats? It was an example. I'm not actually going to kick a cat. Gen wars be pointless. Yeah. Gen wars, like, they don't fucking help anything. Ooh, sorry about that. The fallacy is my favorite. It is the best fallacy. Someone might train an AI on CSIC. We're all doomed. I don't know about the future, but so far, every AI voice I've heard, and generally like the AI like scriptings, don't work that well yet. They might in the future. I'm sure they'll get better to an extent.
Oh God, you just reminded me.
What?
There was this company who sent an email to somebody who was handing in their application, like a cover letter thing, but as an email. And they said, thanks for getting in touch and applying, but next time don't use an AI to write your cover letter. It's lazy. And they went, I wrote it myself, I'm just autistic.
That is what we call a big oof.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's kind of hard to tell if somebody wrote it or not, depending on who the person is, I guess.
Yeah, like...
They're getting pretty good. Especially written stuff. Unless it goes, well, I am an AI, so I don't really know about this thing.
Some of it is good, but when it wants to, like, copy a person...
Yeah, I've heard some of the fake voice ones, and a lot of them, they kind of sound like the person intended it to be for, but it's also it's very stilted.
Just want to finish on Don. Your opinions are, as long as your opinions are true, I am mostly taking the piss. I am going to state the things that I believe in a kind of factual way, mostly because I'm pissed. But if people believe their art is stolen, then they provide evidence to support that. Too many just make the claim. Okay, that's fair. There will be people who will come in and just go, that's my art. And it might not necessarily be true. But how they work
but we weren't talking about that. We were talking about the ones that were clearly, obviously ones, like the ones with the watermarks.
Yeah, like where does the watermark come from? It doesn't come from space. Like that. This is just how they work. My opinions that are true are how they're trained on data sets of pictures of other people's work. Like, that's how they're trained. Do you know how AIs are trained? If you don't, go and learn. If you do, I don't understand what our argument is. But yeah, but I'll give you, people could just say anything is theirs and they don't give a fuck. And there will definitely be people who do that. Like, people will always try and take something in sort of the opposite way. Oh. Would love to see the comparison of a response video that you'd get if ChatGPT was fed the last 2 years of sick and actually sick versus one apologist bid. I have a funny feeling it would say whiskey a lot.
Yeah.
But it would be weird and stilted. And the other thing I was going to say was about the voice things. While they sound like the person, their dynamic range is always really low. And I think part of that is because they're training it on so much stuff. Much like when you equalize audio, it kind of flattens it all out.
I think it's also because it's training on more about how it sounds, not what it's how it's said.
Yeah.
So it kind of does sound like the person, but not how they would say it.
Yeah, like it really sounds like the person, but then it just doesn't. It doesn't sound how they. It's not as expressive. It's rarely as expressive. I understand the process which started earlier, and if the watermark is found, then that is theft. Okay, so my point is that they're just because they found the watermark, so that one was obvious. The fact of how it works is it takes things. Like, that is indisputable. If you think it's disputable, I don't know. But yeah. If people are just saying that's mine because I said so, fuck them. Like, what are they going to do? Some guy took other people's Instagram posts and put them up as a gallery of his with almost no changes to them. Oh. I mean, people will do all sorts of shit.
Freaking X did one of that type of thing.
Hmm?
Because, like, we were just...
Oh, your X, not X.com.
No, X.com.
I was like,
no,
X
that's Twitter.
Yeah.
He took a picture, because I used to draw a lot of dragons, and I showed him some of my artwork, and he's like, "Oh, I draw too," and he showed me a picture. And as someone who really likes to draw dragons, I looked up a lot of pictures of dragons, so I obviously knew quite a lot of them.
And you're like, I've seen that.
Yeah, and he showed me some, and I was just like, I've seen that one, I've seen that one, I've seen that one, and it's just like, yeah, you got me, and I was like, fucking lying cunt.
Yeah, oh, you got me, you fucking spotted my social experiment. I was gonna, no, fuck you, you were gonna fucking blag it for having. Oh, I really do hate that. People who will actually just pretend other people's art is theirs. One of the worst ones is like this person went on Reddit, I think, and they were looking for a piece of Doctor Who art. And in one place they were like, "Oh, I really want this one. It looks like this." And then someone found it for them, and then they put it somewhere else. Just this dumb thing that I did. I call it X. And so someone in the original post went, "Well, I found it. It was you posting it, pretending that you fucking drew it and calling it dumb." Like, of all the things, like, it's one thing, like this whole thing. This is just something I threw together. Like, at least pretend it was hard work. Don't fucking belittle other people's shit just because you're nicking it.
It's just a prank, bro.
Yeah. I do really hate that. When people get caught out for things and they act like, "Oh, well done, you solved the mystery, fuck off."
I shouldn't talk about dragons, I might summon a Roger.
Summon a Roger. So you have trained your dragon drawing skills with other people's dragon pictures. It's the seeing the dragon drawing, the drawing dragon
like
seeing skills.
Yeah, it's the like learning about the composition and the like angles and placement.
And also recognizing other people's arts when some fucking asshole.
Also, it's sort of like getting inspiration from stuff. Like, I'm not very... When I'm put on a spot and I'm like, right, I'm going to draw something. And my brain goes, no, we're not. Blank. And I'm like, I have no idea what to do now, but I still want to draw. I look for inspiration to draw things.
How to Train Drawing Dragons. That would be a shit film. Mrs. Sick is an AI confirmed. I mean,
I'm not that stilted, am I?
When I walk up to her sometimes, she says, "Show me pictures of buses." And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Show me pictures of buses." And it's all these really blurry ones that are quite hard to tell. I had a fucking experience that was like, it was an out-of-body experience. I was trying to set up one of the kids' computers, and for some reason, the fucking capture just would not work. And I was there for like 20 minutes filling out these things for ages, and I started getting really fucking pissed off.
Trying to find the traffic lights.
Yeah. I eventually just did it on a different device, and it worked immediately. Something is up with her computers for whatever reason. But yeah. Pardon me, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, they found me out.
What?
I'm actually you.
Oh, I thought you were Roger's lost feather.
You're just doing a voice.
Yeah, I'm good at throwing my voice and speaking while I'm speaking, which is quite a skill. Christ, if I could do that, that'd be kind of awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I would use that in my videos way more. Select all frames that contain a stoplight.
Someone of Roger sounds like a euthymist.
Anyway, we're coming on the last minute. Late again, cursed. Ray Comfort is an AI, but without an eye. Oof. Savagery. I appreciate that no one got me drunk today. Genuinely. I know sometimes you can't help yourselves. But, yeah, we do have actual shit to do tomorrow, so good. Yeah. 3 seconds, and then we're going to fuck off. And it's been 3 seconds. All right, I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was high pitch.
You're high-pitched.